In this video, we will be solving this question which says, determine the direction of a logical conclusion P implies Q or Q implies P, or there is an equivalence between P and Q in case of the following propositions. Your first part says you have a proposition P, that is the series summation an where n tends from 1 to infinity is convergent, and statement Q is limit n tends to infinity of an is equal to 0. And in the second part, we have statement P as x square is greater than 16 and statement Q as x is greater than 4. Now, with these two statements in both the parts, we have to determine whether P implies Q or Q implies P, or there is an equivalence between both these statements. Before determining the direction of implication, let's first understand the meaning of each statement. Suppose you have two statements A and B. A is a necessary statement for B if B cannot be true unless A is also true. In other words, B requires A. However, it is possible for A to be true even if B is not true. So, B implies A. Again, I am repeating that B cannot be true unless and until A is true. Let's understand this with an example. Suppose A is a statement that you sit in an exam. So, you have A as sit in exam. And B is a statement that you pass the exam. So, you pass exam. Now, you cannot pass the exam without sitting in the exam. So, sitting in the exam is a necessary condition for passing the exam. So, in this case, you have B implies A, where A is a necessary statement. So, this is a necessary statement. However, sitting in the exam solely does not guarantee or does not mean that you will pass the exam. Now, let's see in the other way. That is, we are dealing with the sufficient conditions. That is, the statement A is said to be sufficient condition for statement B if knowing that A is true guarantees that B is also true. However, knowing that B is true does not guarantee that A is true. Thus, B need not be a sufficient condition for A. Here we write A implies B. So, if A is true, this guarantees that B is also true. Now, again, let's understand this with the help of example. Suppose you have a statement A. So, for your ease, I'll write guarantee here so that you can take the notes if you want. So, this is guarantees. And what guarantees what? So, A guarantees B. Now, coming back to the example, you have the statement A that you will achieve overall 70%. So, you have overall 70% in all your modules that you have studied in your degree. And B is the statement that you will get first class in economics. So, this is particularly for economics. Now, achieving an overall percentage of 70% in all your modules that you have studied in your degree means that you will get first class in economics. However, getting first class degree in economics does not necessarily mean that you achieve 70% in all your modules. So, here A implies B. That is, if you achieve 70% in all your modules, then you have achieved 70% or first class in economics as well. But vice versa is not necessarily true. Now, the last part we are left with is the equivalence part. If you are able to draw the conclusion that A implies B, and you're also able to draw the conclusion that B implies A, then these two implications can be written together in a single logical equivalence, that is, A is equivalent to B, or A if and only if B. Now, let's begin with the solution. In your first part, the first statement P was that the series summation an where n is equal to 1 to infinity is convergent, and your statement B was limit an from n tends to infinity is equal to 0. Now we know the theorem that if summation n is equal to 1 to infinity converges, then limit n tends to infinity is equal to 0. So suppose that this is statement P and this is statement Q. So if I try and match this theorem with these statements, so this is statement P and this is statement Q. Now I have if P then Q. So in my implication direction would be P implies Q. So I have P is a sufficient condition for Q to be true. That is, if this is the case, then I'm 100% sure that this will be the case, as this guarantees this. So P is a sufficient condition for Q to be true and P implies Q. Now moving on to the second part, you have statement P that x square is greater than 16 and statement Q that x is greater than 4. Now if x square is greater than 16, then it could be the case that x is greater than 4 or x is less than minus 4. Let's quickly take an example to verify this. So if you have x is equal to 5, then your x square is 25, which is greater than 16. And if your x is equal to minus 7, then your x square is equal to 49, which is again greater than 16. So it holds for both these cases, but these two cases are not included in our statement Q. So this is not equivalent to Q, which means that P does not imply Q. So this does not imply Q. That is, if I have x square to be greater than 16, then this does not guarantee that x would always be greater than 4. It could be the case that x is less than minus 4. So P is not a sufficient condition for Q. But if x is greater than 4, if I square both sides, then I have x square is greater than 16, and which is my statement P. So Q implies P. So in other words, P is a necessary statement for Q to be true, as this cannot be true unless this is true, or Q is a sufficient condition for P. So if this is the case, then it has to be this. So this guarantees this. So this is a sufficient condition. So Q is a sufficient condition for P, or P is a necessary condition for Q.